Hello everyone, welcome to the JCast Network. I'm your host, Aaron Herman. We had the opportunity to speak to the writers of Dogs, a unique play about the Arab-Israeli conflict. Let's take a closer look. Whenever you start the process of writing a play, it's very exciting because you're putting a little piece of yourself into that. What motivated you to develop this play?
We made it out of a workshop. We made, Shlomo and I'm Ido. We made projects out of a workshop for a couple of times, and we made it with only women. And Shlomo said, let's do it with men, and only while I was in a project with about East Jerusalem, a script I wrote, I understand that let's do it with Arab and Israeli men. And what interested me in it is finding the connection between the conflict, the Arab-Israeli conflict, and manhood and masculinity. I mean, there obviously a connection, but when we, on one side, we look at masculinity as what has happened. I mean, that's our, the word is acting through the masculinity. I mean, power and relationship, and see it, how it like goes into the conflict, and where are the small prosaic things when it comes out. And I thought that seeing it in a workshop like merge those things out. I mean, where the conflict here is, and where the masculinity and the us as men and our ability, or the fact that we have no ability to get intimate as women, how it reflects on the conflict.
Did anything surprise you as you were going through like the auditions and then the run-throughs? Anything like pop out and be like, wow, I didn't expect that?
It was very. It broke up two times. I mean, the cast. At first, we chose a group of men that are older, and on the first rehearsal in the workshop, I mean, there was too much energy in the air, and like they really fight each other, and it just broke up. And we understand that we have to cast a younger cast that will be more open and will be able to deal with those things, with masculinity and understanding the Arab-Israeli conflict, and being in it without being that fighting that you'll just burst up. And it amazed me how difficult is this issue, even for actors, being there. I mean, dealing with things and being with each other.
Before that project, we did a project with women, and what was very interesting for me to see that when it was with women, there was a lot of talking, but with the workshop with men, it was a lot of action, and I knew it, but now in the workshop I really saw it, that men prefer to act and not to speak about, and that was very interesting for me.
What are you hoping audiences will take away from this?
First of all, for us to be in the US and in New York and perform a piece about the Israeli-Arab issue in a gender angle, and look at it different. We want the audience to see that we can and we do look on our conflict different, and there is another way to deal with it and talk about it and make a conversation out of it. That's the reason for us to come here and to make this effort to make this piece in English. That's for me most important, to look on Israel different.
I want to take the word of Chai that spoke before, that it's about people. And I think what we try to do here is to begin with stereotype and to see that under that there are people. And I think this is connected from everywhere. It's happen everywhere, that people begin with what they see, and just if they give time, they can really understand they have a person.
The mask and see
yes,
humans.
and that's what happened in the workshop. And I hope that this play will run a lot abroad, because I think it's important. It's important play.
Mirror Israel in a different way.
Yes, and also I think that I hope it's like what is in my mind, that there is a solution to our situation, and I think what happened here in the show is that maybe if a man can be pregnant, and for me it's like if a man can be more female-like, I mean, to contain more, maybe something will change.
I'll just give one anecdote. Anecdote, it's understood in English.
Yeah.
That today, before the show, one of the actors his job is to bring the laundry. Understood that half an hour before we start, he forgot it in Brooklyn in our apartment. So I took a taxi, and there was an Egyptian taxi driver, and he was really hairy and really helped to, he drove like crazy, and he did it. We talked about the show and about Egypt and about what happened in the Middle East, and it was like an Egyptian helping Israeli production with Arab and Israeli men. It was like
life imitating art.
Yes.
Yeah.
So things changes here for us.
I want one more thing, that something that's very exciting for us is to work with these actors, because they really bring their heart to the stage. And I remember that in Israel we make a conversation afterwards with the audience, and someone said that it's amazing that they always there is a lot of violence on stage, but even though they feel the love. So I think what is very special is because the actors really bring their love to the stage. You can really feel it, and maybe you can, how we said, להתמודד עם האלימות. Deal with the violence. Otherwise, it could be too hard.
You can see Dogs is a unique story about Arabs and Israelis coming together to find peace with each other. This is Aaron Herman, and thanks for watching.